For most of the 20th century, Michigan has been at the heart of the American auto industry. The automobile is a product that has contained numerous asbestos materials. Even today, certain gasket materials, as well as brake linings, contain asbestos. Therefore, it is not surprising that the Ford Motor Plant is just one of the job sites in Michigan that have been identified as an exposure location. Occupational sites. In addition to Ford Motors, related industries such as steel and oil refineries have also historically been responsible for employee exposure to asbestos. These include foundries such as McLeod Steel and refiners like that owned and operated by Sun Oil. Interestingly, there are 3 sites listed which involve the manufacture of substances which people ingest on a regular, if not daily, basis. One of these is the Anheuser-Busch Brewery, which produces Budweiser beer in addition to several other popular commercial brands. Another is Kellogg's, producer of several common commercial convenience breakfast foods. The third one is a pharmaceutical corporation, Parke-Davis, a subsidiary of Pfizer. Asbestos from these sites is not likely to be directly related to the manufacture of beer, breakfast cereal, and prescription drugs. However, these industries have older buildings in which asbestos-containing materials, or ACMs, were used as part of their construction, as was commonly done in the last century. In fact, Parke-Davis was the oldest drug company in the U.S., founded in 1886. It's worth noting that mesothelioma can attack anywhere in the body, not just the pleural lining. Indeed, it was a peritoneal or abdominal form of this disease that actually killed the late actor Steve McQueen. Gastrointestinal forms of mesothelioma are also common, if not prevalent. Michigan's many power plants. In a recent study in Puerto Rico, 13% of chest x-rays taken of power plant workers showed significant abnormalities. There are at least a dozen such power-generating facilities in the state of Michigan, both nuclear and oil or coal-fired. Stevensville, Palisades, Midland, Fermi II, Enrico, and Cooks are all examples of the former. Other job sites. Chemical plants, such as the one located in Muskegon, have been known to make use of asbestos materials due to their resistance to the effects of corrosive chemical substances. Most of the asbestos used in chemical labs is of the blue crucidolite variety. This is a particularly deadly form of amphibole asbestos. The fibers resemble microscopic needles that burrow their way straight through the outer lung tissue from the inside out. On the way, they interact with the DNA of cells in ways that medical researchers are only now beginning to understand, causing the cells to mutate and become malignant. As the Great Lakes surround Michigan, marine repair facilities and shipyards are yet another industry found in the state. A recent study carried out at the National Cancer Institute in Bethesda, Maryland, showed that shipyard workers who were employed in these facilities prior to 1980 run a significantly elevated risk of developing asbestos-related diseases. Naturally occurring asbestos. Michigan's natural asbestos deposits are located in the Upper Peninsula. This is a heavily forested and geologically rugged area. The Porcupine Mountains have been identified by geologists as the oldest mountain range in North America. 5 of these asbestos deposits are found near the towns of Marquette, Negaunee, and Ishpeming. These deposits contain both amphibole and chrysotile, or serpentine, forms of asbestos. Additional serpentine and amphibole deposits exist south of this area around the Norway, Niagara, Iron Mountain area. Further south of this was an asbestos mining operation that has long since shut down. Agency for Toxic Substances and Disease Registry maps also indicate a chrysotile deposit near the town of Liance, as well as an amphibole formation west of Copper City and Eloise. Legal resources in Michigan. A search through the Michigan Federal District Court cases for asbestos-related personal injury product liability lawsuits brings up no recent lawsuits. However, this does not mean that there are no asbestos concerns in the state. In fact, Michigan ranks 12 in the U.S. for mesothelioma cases. With mesothelioma mortality of 8.91 per million, Michigan has a crude mortality rank of 38 in the country. There are a number of asbestos exposure sites in Michigan, including Kellogg's in Battle Creek, Bay City Power Plant and Defoe Shipbuilding Company in Bay City, the Cooks Nuclear Power Plant and ICMS in Bridgman, and the Palisades Nuclear Power Plant in Covert. In addition, in Detroit, Marathon and the University of Detroit are known asbestos exposure sites. The Ford Motor Plant in Ecorse and the Rush Island Powerhouse in Fittours are known asbestos exposure sites. In Flat Rock, McLeod Steel has been affected, and in Grand Haven, the conventional powerhouse has been an exposure site. The Kalamazoo Power Plant and Lakeside Refining in the same city are known sites. In Lansing, the Park Davis Lab, and in Midland, the Midland Nuclear Power Plant are known exposure areas. In Monroe, the Enrico Nuclear Power Plant, and in Moorhead, the Anheuser-Busch Brewery are known exposure areas. In Muskegon, the Muskegon Chemical Plant, and in the Newport, the Fermi II Nuclear Power Plant are known exposure sites. In River Rouge, the electric plant, Sonoma Refinery, and the River Rouge Stadium have all been affected. In St. Clair, the St. Clair Powerhouse, and in Stevensville, the Stevensville Atomic Powerhouse are known sites. The known asbestos exposure site in Stoneville is the Cooks Nuclear Plant. It is important to note that while many of these sites have taken the steps to keep their employees and visitors safe since the problem was discovered, people who worked in or visited these areas in the past may still have been exposed to asbestos. Individuals who lived or worked near these areas or other known asbestos exposure sites in Michigan should be checked regularly for signs of mesothelioma in order to file any lawsuits within the state's statute of limitations. In 2006, the Michigan Supreme Court prohibited trial courts in the state from bundling asbestos-related cases except for discovery. This means that each case must be tried separately. The effect on mesothelioma victims is a mixed one. The victims in stronger cases are likely to get a larger settlement than they would if their case were part of a group settlement. However, it also means that there will be more individual cases in the court system, potentially delaying trials. Those interested in filing lawsuits should know that the statute of limitations for personal injury law in Michigan is 3 years with a discovery rule that states that this amount of time begins when the problem, in this case the mesothelioma, either was discovered or should have been discovered. Wrongful death cases fall under the same statute of limitations and follow the same discovery rule. There is no specific statute about asbestos. However, it should be noted that there are special regulations on the discovery rule in lawsuits filed against professional engineers, licensed architects, surveyors, or contractors. Thank you for watching. This video was produced by Asbestos.Net, a leading resource on all aspects of asbestos and mesothelioma. Our priority is to inform victims about the devastating effects of asbestos exposure, mesothelioma, asbestos cancer, asbestosis, and other asbestos-related diseases, and to advise them with a wealth of information. Individuals whose lives have been touched by mesothelioma have numerous questions and concerns. Their caregivers and family members also need accurate, reliable information. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with mesothelioma or asbestos cancer and need more information, we invite you to visit and explore the thousands of pages of oncologist-reviewed material on Asbestos.net, to call our convenient toll-free number shown below and speak with a mesothelioma specialist, or to use the simple contact form found at Asbestos.net to request a free copy of our informative books, custom inserts, and DVD. Asbestos.net. Information and help for patients and families.